Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome all of you for today's Bhagavad Gita session. Last week we were discussing the items of knowledge as mentioned by Lord Krishna in the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna gives a list of 20 items of knowledge. The Lord says that all these are considered to be knowledge, and anything which is contrary to these 20 items, they are ignorance. So what is knowledge, what is ignorance is very clearly explained by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita. So what are the symptoms or qualities of a person who is in real knowledge? Just like at the end of your academic year, there will be an examination. And what is the purpose of that examination?
To evaluate the understanding of the various concepts.
Yeah, very good. How much you have actually understood the various concepts that were taught during the academic year? What is your understanding? Where do you stand? To actually show you, to give you the realization of how much you have understood and how much you have not understood. That is the purpose of the examination. The examination board, the purpose of the examination board is not to fail the students, as some people may understand. Some students think like that. Oh, this examiner actually wantingly he has set a difficult paper to fail us. No, that is not the purpose of the examiner. Examination is like a mirror. When you attempt the questions in the exam paper, it will become very clear to you how much you have understood the subject and how much you have not understood. Where do you stand? That you become aware of yourself. Isn't it? That means if you know, if you have scored certain marks, that means you have understood that much. Out of 100%, let's say somebody has scored 80%. That means the understanding of that person's subject concepts is 80%. Roughly, you can say like that. So in the same way, how do you know whether you have actually understood the spiritual knowledge? How do you know whether you have spiritually advanced or not? If you want to know that, then these are the 20 things, 20 qualities of a person in real knowledge that Krishna has listed here. So, when we actually practice these in our daily life, when we have developed these qualities in our daily life, in our dealings with others, then we should know that we have actually understood Bhagavad Gita. So what are these items of knowledge? First we will see the list. Some of these we have discussed in the previous session. We will discuss the rest of the items today. But what are the items of knowledge? Humility. The first one is humility. Second one is pridelessness. Last week we discussed humility means not being eager to be respected by others, not seeking respect from others, but being ready to offer all respects to others. That is humility. Now doesn't mean that, suppose, what do you mean by offering respects to others? Whatever respect is due to that person, that respect we should offer. In fact, a devotee of the Lord does not disrespect even an ant. What do you mean by respecting an ant? So when the ant comes, does it mean that we should bow down in front of the ant, fold our hands? Is that called respect? No. When ant is walking, you don't stamp You don't walk over it. Right? That is a respect. Every living entity has got the right to live. So you don't take away other living entities' right to live just because you are powerful than the ant. When you misuse your power and trample that ant, that means you are not humble. So humility means to give due respect according to that person's position. According to that person's position, one has to offer respect. That is humility. But we should not seek respect from others. Second one is pridelessness. Not being proud of our abilities, our talents, our knowledge, our advancement. That is being prideless. That is actually the quality of a learned person. One should always bend, one should always bow down in front of somebody who is more advanced than you. So, in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, you will always meet with 3 kinds of people. People who are lower than you, people who are equal to you, and people who are greater than you in various aspects. Correct? When you meet a person who is less qualified than you, then you have to feel compassionate upon that person and you should help that person. When you meet a person who is equal to you, you should make friendship with that person. When you meet a person who is greater than you, we should not become envious, but we should learn from that person. This is the right attitude of a person in true knowledge. So Narad Muni says, if somebody follows this, then he will never get into quarrels in his life. He will be peaceful always. Correct? When you meet a person less qualified than you, what you should do? Feel compassionate and help that person. When you meet a person who is equal to you, what you should do? Make friendship with that person. When you meet a person who is more qualified than you, offer him respects and learn from that person. Be in the mood of learning. So this is the symptom, this is the meaning of pridelessness.
So that isn't us assuming that another person is less qualified, us having certain amount of pride.
What is that?
We assuming that another person is less qualified than us having some pride, isn't that something?
No, it is very obvious in certain cases. No? Suppose there are certain things which are very easily you can make out. 0 and 1. In your own class, let's say there are students who are, let's say you take the subject matter of mathematics. You can very easily make out whose maths is strong and whose is weak. Correct? So when you meet a person who is more qualified in maths than you, definitely you should take help from him. Oh, you're so advanced in maths, please teach me also, I don't know this, please teach me. When you meet a person who is not as qualified as you, you know it very clearly from the marks or from the results, whatever, it is very obvious, no? That time you should voluntarily go to help that person. You should not feel proud. See, I know more than this person. Krishna has blessed me, God has blessed me with some good intelligence in maths. Now let me also share that with others. That should be the move. And when there are people who have equal mathematics, then you have discussion about mathematics, friendly talks. Of course, when it comes to spiritual advancement, just by seeing that person, you cannot make out whether that person is more advanced or less advanced. Actually, that's why the safest route is a devotee always thinks that I am lower than everybody. Because there is something which we can learn from everybody. Even in the spiritual domain also, there is something which I can learn from every other person. That means, this is one nice story in the Mahabharata. Once Lord Krishna gave a task to Duryodhana and to Arjuna. Both of them he called separately. he told Arjuna, no, Yudhishthir Maharaj, not Arjuna, Yudhishthir Maharaj. He told, you go travel entire kingdom and you please find out somebody who is lesser than you in some aspect. And then he also called Duryodhana separately and told, task for you is you travel everywhere in the kingdom and you find out at least one person who is greater than you in some quality. So both of them went. They searched and searched and searched, met lot of people. And both of them came back empty-handed. I mean, they came alone. Both of them told Krishna that we could not find that kind of a person. Yudhishthir Maharaj said, I could not find somebody who is lesser than me. Everybody whom I met, I saw that there is something which I can learn from that person. In one or the other aspect, everyone were better than me. And Duryodhana, out of his pride, he came and told, I met everybody, Krishna, I met so many people, but I could not find somebody greater than me in any aspect. That is pride. So therefore, when one is in the learning attitude, learning mood, everybody can teach me something or the other. It's a very, very important thing. So, Vidya Dadati Vinayam. A person who is actually in real knowledge, he is free from pride, he is humble. There is something I can learn from everybody. Right? So, when we compare ourselves with others, generally speaking, materially speaking, there are two outcomes possible. If you are not in the learning mood, when you compare yourself with others, there are two possibilities. If the other person is better than you, you become envious. If the other person is lesser than you, you become proud. Now both pride and envy, it blocks our vision. So therefore, one should be in the learning mode. That is why this humility and pridelessness, these are mentioned as the first two items of knowledge. A person who is interested to gain knowledge, he will not become a victim of envy and pride, because there is something which I can learn from everyone. And basic thing is, a devotee of the Lord sees everybody, in everybody's body, Paramatma is situated. Therefore, everyone's body is a temple. My body is also a temple. Everyone's body is a temple. Everybody is a temple of God. That is why you see in Indian culture, by mistake, if our leg touches somebody, what do? We touch it like this. We touch that person's body like this and keep it in our head. Isn't it? Do we do this? Nowadays it is all forgotten. And even if it is followed, they think it is simply some ritual I have to do. What is the actual understanding? When my leg touches, how can my leg touch temple of the Lord? So it is offensive. Therefore immediately we do this. So that is the understanding. Every body is a temple of Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am situated in everyone's body as Paramatma. Isn't it? Okay, the third item of knowledge is non-violence. We have discussed last time. Non-violence has two understandings, two meanings. One is physically not hurting others. Therefore, a person who gives pain to other living entities just for the satisfaction of his tongue and belly is not a person in knowledge. Cannot cultivate spiritual knowledge. That is why we have to take sattvic food only. Sattvic food means that food which is derived with minimum or no pain to other living entities. The principle in this material world is jivo jivasya jivanam. Every living entity is a food for another living entity. Correct? But sattvic food one should take, one who wants to make spiritual advancement. Sattvic food is obtained by minimum or no pain to other living entities. That is the best food. Whereas Rajasic and Tamasic foods, they not only give problem to our body, when we consume it. Our mind also gets polluted, contaminated, and it also is coming because of pain to other living entities. For example, meat and non-vegetarian food. Grossly, it is giving pain to other living entities. Therefore, such foodstuffs should be avoided. That is non-violence. If one wants to make spiritual advancement, one is advised not to consume non-vegetarian food. Now, another level of non-violence is what? As we discussed last week, anyone remembers?
Preaching the correct, right thing, whatever we know, which can be useful to others, we need to say.
Share. Yeah, very good. So, when you know spiritual knowledge and when you see others are lacking that spiritual knowledge and they are suffering, they are making wrong decisions in life because they don't have spiritual knowledge, and you are seeing that, and you are not sharing the spiritual knowledge which you have, which can help them, then it is violence. That means Bhagavad Gita is not only meant for self. Oh, I understood, I am practicing, that's enough for me. No, one has to go and share it with others. That is non-violence. And then tolerance. Tolerance means not being agitated because of dualities. Material world is a world of dualities. There is heat, there is cold. There is praise, there is accusations. Somebody will come and praise you. You become very happy. Next moment somebody will come and accuse you of something. They'll talk ill about you. Then you become very depressed. Now, when we are going through ups and downs of emotional feelings like this, it is not possible for us to pursue spiritual path. If you want to pursue spiritual path, we should not become emotionally affected by what others are saying. Whether they are praising me or whether they are accusing me, I should not be affected. I should continue to practice my spiritual path. That is why tolerance is important. Tam stitikshasva bharata. Krishna said this in the second chapter. There will be happiness and distress. Just like summer and winter seasons come and go, happy situations, sad situations will come and go. But you don't get affected. That is the right way to progress in the spiritual path. We have to learn tolerance. Tolerance has to be based on knowledge. Tolerance should not be based on ignorance. What does it mean? Suppose that it is raining. Now you are supposed to walk from your room and come to DMC for the session. Now it is raining. So what you should do? You should take an umbrella and come. You should not say, oh, Krishna has told we should tolerate. Let me not take any umbrella. Let me walk like that. Whatever is facility, minimum facility that you are able to arrange with using your intelligence that Krishna has given, we should use that to tolerate extremes in the material world. Right? We have to use our intelligence. Surrendering to Krishna means not becoming sentimentalist. Surrendering to Krishna means use the intelligence that Krishna has given you to follow Krishna's instructions. Just this example, if you are coming from your room to DMC and it is raining, you have an umbrella. Krishna has given you intelligence that umbrella can protect you from rain. So use umbrella and come. Correct, no? Then you will be able to sit nicely and hear also Bhagavad Gita. Suppose you don't use umbrella. Oh, Krishna has told you should tolerate. Let rain come, I will tolerate. Then you will come here and sit. You will start sneezing, you will catch a cold. Your body will not be body and mind will not be in a proper situation to focus and hear what is being discussed in the class. So, tolerance means we should use our intelligence and try to follow what Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. Then simplicity. We gave the example of Dronacharya. So, even a devotee should be so straightforward. Simplicity means being straightforward. Even if your enemy comes and asks you some secrets, you should be able to reveal. That is the meaning of simplicity. One should not be thinking, making so much of calculation. Oh, if I share this, what if he will use it against me? Of course, whatever you are sharing, if it is going to help that person to progress spiritually, then you should share. Not simply. Alright? It's not that simply I will share, oh come, all secrets I will come and share with you. Not required. If there is some confidential information, by sharing with that person, it is going to ultimately help that person come closer to Krishna, then you should share. Now another meaning of simplicity is not being duplicitous. Not being duplicitous means what? Most of the times we do this in the material world. We think something, but when we speak to that person, we speak something else. When I meet somebody, let's say, I may be thinking, why this fellow came? He's simply wasting my time. But in front of him, I will speak, oh, you came so nice, please come, sit down. Now this is called duplicitous behavior. That means what we think, vachasyekam, manasyekam, karmanyekam. Vachasyekam means I am speaking something else. Manasyekam means I am thinking something else. Karmanyekam, my action is something else. There is no synchrony between the three. What I speak, what I think, what I do, there is no synchrony in the three. That is called duplicitous behavior. Just to impress some people, we speak something. In the mind, we actually have a very bad opinion about that person, but just to make him feel good, we speak some nice words. That is not good. In fact, a devotee should not feel bad about anybody. Isn't it? So whatever he thinks, he should speak. So that is called simplicity. Right? Being straightforward in our dealings, action and words and thoughts are in sync. So these are all the symptoms of knowledge, right? Then next one is approaching a bona fide spiritual master. So without approaching a self-realized guru, one cannot actually acquire spiritual knowledge. So the first item in spiritual life is Adav Guru Ashraya. We have to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Taking shelter means agreeing to follow his instruction. That is the meaning. Accepting Guru means what? I agree to follow what the Guru is saying. Shishya in the Sanskrit language comes from the root word shas dhatu. That person who voluntarily agrees to follow the orders of the spiritual master. One who voluntarily agrees to be controlled by the Guru's orders, he is called Shishya. Now in the modern days, people use the word Guru, Shishya very casually. Right? You know, sometimes this is used as a slang also. En Guru, like this they ask. Bhara Shishya, like this they say. You know, so Guru and Shishya means these are very heavy words. So spiritual master and the disciple, they have an eternal relationship beyond this life after life. So once you accept an Acharya as your Guru, he is your Guru life after life. It's a very serious commitment. And by following the orders of the Guru, one can attain spiritual perfection. Perfection in all walks of life one can attain simply by following the orders of the spiritual master. So therefore, one who is leading his life as per the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master, he is said to be a person in knowledge. Who is a person in knowledge? One who follows the orders of the spiritual master seriously. That is the next item of knowledge. And then cleanliness. Cleanliness means there are two types of cleanliness as we discussed, external and internal. External cleanliness is achieved by taking bath. Internal cleanliness is achieved by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the scriptures say that there are many purifiers. Like air is a purifier, Water is a purifier. Just like now, crores and crores of people, they are all visiting Kumbh Mela and they are taking dip in the Sangam, in the Triveni Sangam, because it is very purifying. So air is purifier, water is purifier, right? Now, among all purifiers, the best among all the purifiers is Harinama. Pavanam pavane bhyopi, Hare Namaiva Kevalam. So, the Harinama, the holy name of Krishna, is the most purifying. If you want to get purified by water, then you have to go to that place. You have to travel thousands of kilometers and go to Prayagraj, and there only in Triveni Sangama you should go and take dip. But as far as this Hare Krishna Mahamantra purification is concerned, anywhere, wherever you are situated, you can instantly get purified by chanting the holy names. There are no hard and fast rules, isn't it? Therefore, this Harinama, chanting of the holy names, is unconditionally purifying. So that is cleanliness. Cleanliness, a devotee can always be clean if he always remembers Krishna. Never forget Krishna. Right? Actual impurity is forgetting Krishna. If you always remember Krishna by chanting his holy names, you are always situated on a purest platform. Then the next item of knowledge is steadiness. To be steady in our determination. A person who is always determined, he maintains his determination to practice spiritual life seriously throughout, then he is said to be a person in knowledge. A person who is not in true knowledge, what happens? Determination is shaking. Sometimes it is high, sometimes it is low. It all depends on the mood of the person. I am in a good mood, I will chant today. Tomorrow I am not in a good mood, I will not see the beads only. Right? So this is unsteady. That means you are not conducting your life based on knowledge, but you are simply flowing with your emotions. So a person who flows with emotions cannot attain spiritual perfection. Emotions should be under your control. You should not get controlled by emotions. Now, how to balance emotions? What is that which can help you balance emotions? It is knowledge. Only knowledge can help you balance your emotions. Right? There are two things, Buddha and Bhava. Buddha means intelligence, Bhava means emotions. Both have to be balanced. Neither should be out of balance. If there is only intelligence and there is no feeling, then it is not good. If there is only intelligence and there is no feeling at all, then it is called what? Mental speculation. Right? And if there is only feeling and emotions, it is not backed with intelligence and knowledge, then it is sentimentalism. Both are wrong. Right? This is what Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, used to say. Philosophy without religion is mental speculation. Religion without philosophy is sentimentalism, and in extreme cases it is fanaticism. Both are wrong. So philosophy means theory, religion means practice. Both have to be there. I should not just only I study Bhagavad Gita, nicely philosophy I understand, but I am not applying at all in my life. Then it is wrong. It is not correct. So religion is practical application of philosophy. So in the same way, there is Buddha, there is Bhava, intelligence and emotions. Both have to be balanced. Both have their place. Right? Now that's why we have many times, people go to temple and they say, when I saw God, tears were coming from my eyes. I felt so great. I felt very ecstatic. And the very next moment they go back home and they'll watch one movie where there is one sentimental scene. Heroine is crying. There also they will cry. Which tears are real? What you cried in front of God, is that real? Or what you are crying now in front of the movie when you saw a sentimental scene, that you are crying, what is real? No one knows. Only that person will know.
So we should not cry when we.
So the point is, if you are really learned to cry for Krishna, then you will not cry for anything else. Crying for Krishna is not simply a matter of sentimentalism. You know, there are many TV channels which are dedicated, to some religious practitioners. There, some religious, leader, there will be some hundreds of people. They say, in the name of God, now I'm going to make you, he's a lame man. Throughout his life, he has never walked. I'll come in the name of God, I'll touch you, and you will start walking. They're all planted audience actually. So somebody will say, I did not walk from my birth, I am a lame person, my legs are not working. Then he'll come on the stage, some 2-3 people will carry that person and bring on the stage. And this so-called religious leader, he'll say, let us all chant the name of God, in the name of God, and he will push that person. Have you seen some videos like that?
They actually can walk.
Yeah, that's called planted audience. So he will push that person in the name of God. Now he will start walking. And then now he will cry. That person will cry and he will jump and he will start running actually. So this is sentimentalism. So what is happening? Actually this person is able to walk. But they want to make a show of that in front of everyone just to increase their number of followers. Now what will happen? All the other people who are sentimentalists, who do not have Buddha, who don't have scriptural knowledge, they are only sentimentalists. Bhava is there. They will all get converted. They'll say, from today I have given up my religion and I will follow this religion. Now this is all sentimentalism. So that is why in the Bhagavad Gita again and again knowledge has been emphasized. The problem today's generation or our world situation is people sentimentally follow some religious rituals. They don't bother to open Bhagavad Gita and study. That is why anybody and everybody will come and say something or they'll show some so-called magic and these people will fall for it. That is why we have to study. Prabhupada said ours is not a sentimental movement. Suppose you come to the temple morning, Sunday, any day morning, around 8 o'clock, 7:30, like that. You will see there is devotees in the temple will be jumping and dancing and singing in front of the Lord. Now when you come and see, it appears that, oh, these are all sentimental people. Why they are singing and dancing like this? But all these devotees are not singing and dancing out of mere sentiments. But they study the scriptures. They have understood. It is not some sentimental process. If you talk to each and every devotee, you can discuss about him, debate with him. He will have answers to all your questions based on the Shastra. So it is not, our process of singing and dancing in front of the Lord is not simply some sentimental process. It is based on scriptural knowledge. If scriptural knowledge is not there, that is why it is said, no, spiritual means what? Spirit plus ritual. That spirit you must have. How do you get that spirit? By knowledge. So the knowledge, when the ritual is performed with right knowledge, then spirit plus ritual is spiritual. Then it is spiritual. Otherwise, there is no spirit only, simply ritual. Many times children ask so many questions to their parents. Why these rituals are done? Why this is done? Because children are very inquisitive. And parents who do not have proper knowledge, they don't give right satisfactory answers. And that is one of the reasons why the present day children are not at all interested in Sanatana Dharma.
Why you are asking so many questions? Please shut up.
Yeah, why are you bothering us? We have been doing from so many generations, you should also follow, that's all. Don't ask, close your mouth, sit down. So then, actually that is not the spirit of Sanatana Dharma. If you see any scripture, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, lot of emphasis is given Lot of encouragement is given to asking questions. You should ask questions. Now, because I don't know the answer and I'll get embarrassed if you ask questions, so I'll say, shut up, don't ask. But that's not the spirit. So therefore, we must understand the knowledge. We must understand philosophical knowledge, and then we will be able to tell others how to practice, isn't it? So steadiness is achieved by spiritual knowledge. And the next item of knowledge is self-control. Self-control. One should be able to control his senses, not let loose the senses. We are in the material world, naturally there will be so many allurements, the senses will get attracted. But with proper intelligence and by spiritual sadhana, it is possible to control our senses. Now, controlling our senses in spiritual life, in Krishna consciousness, doesn't mean we are depriving. Prabhupada gives a very nice example. Suppose there is a child who is very naughty. You know, children are very naughty and children are very energetic. They want to keep doing something or the other. Suppose you are trying to do some work, and if a small child is there around you, will the child will allow you to do your work peacefully? No. The child will come, suppose you are reading the book, the child wants to also take the book. The child will drag, the child will do so many things. Now, if you take a stick and tell, hey, sit down. Don't disturb me, I'm reading. Don't you see it's a very important work? Sit quietly, sit there. Don't talk, don't do anything. Now, out of fear, maybe for a few minutes, the child may be sitting there. But again, the natural nature of the child will come out. Again, the child will become restless and it will create so many disturbances. Correct? Instead of making the child with force trying to sit, what you should do? Give some nice engagement for the child, which the child gets absorbed in. The child enjoys. The child can dovetail its restlessness if you like, engage it in some nice game through which it can learn also. That is called engagement. Right? Now, in Krishna consciousness, in spiritual life also it is like that. Each of our senses is like one child. The child wants to keep on doing something. Eyes want to keep on seeing so many things. There's no end to it. Ears want to keep on hearing. There's no end. So, mind is also like that. Mind is also crazy like the child. Mind keeps on, want to keep on thinking something or the other. Now, if you forcefully try to suppress the senses and the mind, it won't work. It may work for a few minutes. Again, the mind and senses need engagement. So, if you actually engage the senses and mind tactfully in spiritual activities, then you can attain control of the senses. Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo vachamsi vaikuntha gunanu vardane. In the Bhagavatam it is said, example of Ambarish Maharaj is given. You know who is Ambarish Maharaj? He was a great king in the Surya Vamsha. And much before Lord Ramachandra appeared, he was there. He was one of the predecessor of Lord Ramachandra, this Ambarish Maharaj. And he was a Mahabhagavata, a great devotee. Even though he had so many, he was a king of the big empire. You can just imagine how much he would be busy. It's not an ordinary post to sit as a king on the throne. So many responsibilities. In spite of so many material responsibilities, he was so advanced in bhakti. How was he able to attain this advancement? The secret is revealed. First thing what he did was, Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo. He fixed his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. That means he was always thinking about Krishna. Even while executing his duties as a king, his mind was fixed on Krishna. See, mind is restless because there is no one goal for the mind. But if you fix the mind on thinking about Krishna, you give a task to the mind. Today, let us see how many times you are able to remember Krishna. Either by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, or by reading Bhagavad Gita, by hearing, or by engaging in some devotional service. This is a task for the mind. Think about Krishna. So, when you give a goal to the mind will not be as restless as before. And in the beginning, we have to train. The symptom of a once the mind develops, I will put self-control. Anyone remembers? I gave two parallel examples.
Arjuna.
Yeah, Arjuna and
Vishwamitra.
Vishwamitra. So Vishwamitra was trying to do tapasya, but he got agitated by hearing the ankle bells of Menaka. Whereas Arjuna, even though he was tried to be enticed by Urvashi, he was not agitated. Why? Because Arjuna's purpose was, he went to Swarga not for heavenly pleasures. He went there because Krishna told him to go there and get the weapons from Indra and others to prepare for Kurukshetra war. So when the goal is fixed, Krishna has told me, I have come here to get the weapons to prepare myself for the war. I should not get diverted to anything else. And especially if our commitment towards Krishna is strong. See, Krishna is what? He is Sarvam Karshati. He can attract everybody. We have to become attracted to Krishna by committing to follow what Krishna has told. Commitment is very important. In any relationship, there are two things, attraction and commitment. When you meet somebody, you get attracted to that person and you want to have a relationship with that person. But if your relationship is only based on attraction, it is not going to last long. The attraction has to go to the next level of commitment. When you are committed to that person, then your relationship is deep. So today, why in the modern days, people are having so many breakups, divorces. Why? Because relationship is only restricted to attraction. That is why there is breakup, there is divorce, there are so many things are happening. Nobody wants to commit to anybody. That is a problem. Everybody is in the mood of use and throw. Relationships have become like that. And that is why people are more and more dissatisfied. People are suffering anxiety, depression. Do you think when somebody goes through a breakup, is it a very nice experience? It's emotionally very, very depressing experience. It will take days, weeks and sometimes months together for a person to actually come back to normal. So why? Because simply based on external attraction, bodily attraction. External attraction cannot give us real satisfaction. Now in Krishna definitely is very attractive. If we get attracted to him, to chant his holy names, to hear about him, and that attraction we should intensify. How to intensify our attraction to Krishna? By sadhu sangha, by association of devotees. When you are in touch with devotees on a regular basis, whenever you meet the devotee, you are going to hear about Krishna. Your attraction to Krishna goes to the next level. And slowly that attraction turns into commitment. Because the devotees, sadhus who are guiding you will tell, why don't you chant Hare Krishna mantra every day? Chant a fixed number of rounds. Why? These are all commitments. If you don't turn your attraction into commitment, the relationship has no meaning. So what are we trying to do in Krishna consciousness? First is attraction. Krishna is very attractive. To get attracted to Krishna is very easy. But that is not sufficient. We have to sustain and intensify our attraction. To sustain and intensify our attraction towards Krishna, we need sadhu sangha. We need association of devotees. What happens in the sadhu sangha? Our attraction to Krishna gets transformed into commitment. So when you say I love Krishna, what does it mean? I will chant Hare Krishna mantra every day, come what may. I am committed to Krishna. Just like Arjuna was committed to his purpose for which Krishna had sent him to Swarga. Therefore, no other things could bother him. So, if you are not committed to Krishna, then you will fall for the enticements of this world. There is a saying, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Why people fall for anything? Because they don't strongly stand for Krishna, stand for something. Suppose there is a husband and wife, they are committed to each other very nicely. No third person can come and spoil their relationships. Right? If already they have doubts about each other, already they are dissatisfied with each other, then the third person will come and take advantage of this and they will create rift in the relationships. Isn't it? Same way, we have to develop commitment to Krishna. What are the commitments? The spiritual master, he tells us, if you want to develop your relationship with Krishna, sustain your attraction for Krishna, then you have to chant, number 1, chant fixed number of rounds of Hare Krishna mantra every day. That is the first symptom to show that, it shows that you are really serious in developing relationship with Krishna. No, I want to develop relationship with Krishna also, but I don't want to commit also. I don't want to commit that I will chant this many rounds every day. That means you are not serious in pursuing your relationship with Krishna. Wherever there is seriousness, there is commitment. If there is no commitment, then it is a casual. It is just, you're not serious about it. So commitment is very important. Right? So chant every day, fixed number of rounds. Read every day, fixed number of minutes. Hear about Krishna, some fixed number of minutes. These are all commitments. Every week you come, don't miss attending Bhagavad Gita class. That's a commitment. What happens when you follow these commitments? Our attraction to Krishna, it becomes, what it doesn't become? It becomes sustained. Sustained attraction is required. Why sustained attraction is required? Because in this material world, there are so many other objects which are ready to draw our attention. 360 degrees you turn your head, there are so many things which are always trying to allure us. So we have to develop sustained attraction for Krishna. For that, commitment is very, very important. Isn't it? So our self-control is based on how much we are committed to follow the spiritual master's instruction. If you are committed to follow what spiritual master is telling, you don't have to worry about sense control separately. Just we have to follow what the Guru is telling diligently. Come what may, I just follow. Then your sense control is easily achieved. That is the speciality in Bhakti Yoga. In other yoga systems, you have to separately endeavor to bring your senses under control. But in Bhakti Yoga, you simply accept what Guru is telling, follow to the best of your ability, you follow, try to follow what Guru is telling, then your senses will automatically come to control. You don't have to separately endeavor to control your senses. So that is the speciality in Bhakti Yoga. Then let us understand the other items of knowledge. Indriyartheshu vairagyam, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification. A person who is actually serious in pursuing spiritual life must develop detachment from material sense enjoyment. Right? You cannot say, I want material pleasures also, side by side I want to make spiritual advancement also. Then it is not possible. Example for this is, you are trying to start a fire and you are also pouring water on it. Will it help? Will the fire sustain? It will get put off. Right? Either you can pursue Krishna in your life or you can pursue Maya. You cannot be pursuing both. It's not possible. And as I said, if we commit to follow spiritual master's instructions and you will be able to sustain your attraction for Krishna, then When that attraction for Krishna increases, gradually, simultaneously, our attraction for material sense pleasure will decrease. Just like when you are eating food, with each morsel of food, you experience nourishment, satisfaction. Right? With each morsel of food, you are achieving three things. You are achieving nourishment, body is getting nourished. You are attaining satisfaction, and you are also getting freedom from hunger. Three things are happening. It's not that some morsels will give me freedom from hunger. For satisfaction, I have to eat some more morsels of food. Then for nourishment, I have to eat some more morsels of food. It is not like that. With each morsel of food, all the three simultaneously you are going to experience. In the same way, if we simply stick to the instructions of the spiritual master seriously, then what happens? With each passing day of your practice in bhakti, you will attain simultaneously attraction for Krishna and simultaneously detachment from material things will also come about. Somebody says, no, I am chanting Hare Krishna mantra from many days, but I am also getting attracted to material things. That means somewhere some short circuit is happening in the process. Somewhere you are not fully following properly in the right way. Prabhupada gives an example. If you touch a live wire carrying current, if you touch, you must get shock. You are touching and you are not getting shock means you are not touching properly. Somewhere some problem is happening.
You should touch the live wire and one more wire.
You are already grounded. Circuit is completed. You are standing on the ground, not hanging in the air now. So, if you are touching live wire, it means you will get shocked. So the process of chanting Hare Krishna mantra is so powerful. It can give us freedom from all unnecessary attractions and allurements. Oh no, I am chanting but still I am getting, my mind is not coming to control. That means somewhere you are not following the chanting process properly. One of the biggest problems in chanting is not hearing attentively. You may keep on chanting for 100 years, but if you are not hearing attentively, the desired result will not come about. But if you chant and hear each word of the mantra attentively, very quickly you will attain success. That is the secret. Chant and hear the very word. When you say Hare, you have to hear Hare. Krishna, then again Hare Krishna, again you have to hear. It's not that some Hares I am missing out, some Krishnas, something I am able to hear. No. Be fully fixed up. The next 10 minutes, this one mala, what I am chanting, 8 minutes, all the Hare Krishna mantras I have to hear. So it is not simply chanting Hare Krishna mantra 108 times, hearing Hare Krishna mantra 108 times. That is important. Oh, can I play audio and hear? No, you should chant and hear. Therefore it is chant and hear. You chant and hear your own word, own sound. That is very important. Chanting is half the process, hearing is the remaining half. Right? Chanting is like cooking food. Remaining half is tasting. You are only cooking, not tasting, half. Or another example is chanting is you are welcoming Krishna, inviting Krishna. Inviting. Krishna comes, but your attention is somewhere else. Is it good? You invite some guest, he has come, obliging to your invitation, but you are paying attention to something else. So, you chant means inviting Krishna, hear means welcoming Krishna. How to welcome Krishna? By hearing attentively. It's very, very important. Chant and hear, chant and hear. Then you see, you will make rapid progress. Chant and hear. So therefore, how to attain renunciation for the sense objects, sense gratification? Diligently follow the process. Chant and hear attentively. That's very, very important. Then, the next one is anahankara, absence of false ego. What is false ego means? Identifying with something which I am not. That is false ego. All of us in the material world, we think that we are the body. I am this body. This thinking that I am this body is called false ego. False identification. I am the body. Now with that, network of false egos will follow. First basic mother of all false egos is I am the body. And what are the sons and daughters? Because I am the body, I have a male body, so I am a man or I am a woman. And because I am born in this country, I am this country, Indian, I am American. Because I speak this language, so I am a Kannadiga. You see how the illusion keeps increasing. Janasya mohoyam aham mameti. Right? With one, just like if you put one oil drop on the water surface, what happens? The oil drop expands. It expands, no? Forms a thin film on that water. In the same way, this false ego starts with the first one, I am the body. And then it keeps on expanding. Everything connected with my body are mine. This is a false conception. This is called false ego. What happens when we develop false ego? What happens?
We suffer.
How?
Because we think we are the body, we have to do so many things for our body.
Yeah.
And we find so much difficulty in getting them.
Yeah.
So you have to keep suffering.
Yeah. Good. So when I think I am the body, I am actually getting, the more I think I am the body, the more I get implicated in false ego, the farther I am going away from Krishna. I am going far away. What is the actual position is what? I am part and parcel of Krishna. Right? I have to think that I am part and parcel of Krishna. Always I have to be conscious of this. But if I start thinking, no, I am this Indian, I am a Telugu person, no, I am this, I am that, I am this. Okay, all these are role plays. As long as you are executing your duties as a role play, you may have to have these. But it's just like drama. Suppose in the drama you are playing the role of a king. During the drama, you should think that you are a king. After the drama is over, if you continue to think, no, I am king, what will happen?
A mental hospital.
People will send you. So, this material world is a mental asylum only. Because everybody is thinking what they are not. Everybody, even every one of us are thinking, I am the body. What you are actually, nobody is interested. Nobody is interested. What I am not, oh, that's very important. My whole life is dedicated to showing the world what I am actually not. But what are you actually? No, that I am not interested. So this is a life of illusion, ignorance. So a person who is in true knowledge, he is free from this false ego. He has only one ego. What is that?
Eternal servant of Krishna.
Yeah. That is real ego. Jiver Swarup Hoy Krishnera Nitya Dasa. I am eternal servant of Krishna. That is the real ego. Because that is identity of soul. That is the identity of soul. All other things are masks that we are wearing. One above the other, so many masks. You have to throw away the masks and act on the platform of real ego. The next one. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. This is one of the qualities of a person in knowledge. What is that? The perception of the evil of birth, death, old age and disease. A person in real knowledge understands that this material world is not a happy place. This place is not meant for settling down. Why? Because there are so many miseries. And there are 4 important miseries which are bothering everyone in this world. You may be President of America. You may be the second time you will be elected, Donald Trump. But still you cannot be free from Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. Everybody, from a small ant, bacteria, till the President of US, who is supposed to be the most powerful person in this planet today, all of them are afflicted by birth, death, old age and disease. A person in real knowledge perceives this. A person in real knowledge perceives this. Our knowledge should enable us to perceive the evils of birth, death, old age and disease. If our knowledge is not helping us perceive these four miseries, and if you think, no, with my advancement of science and technology, one day I'll be able to overcome all this. Hum honge kamyab ek din. Right? One day I'll be able to conquer this birth, death, old age, disease by my own endeavors. Then you're not a person in real knowledge. Why? Because from time immemorial, whoever has taken birth have suffered all these miseries. And you are also not an exception. This is intelligence. Right? My grandfather died, his father died, his great-grandfather died, everybody died. I'm also not an exception. I have to go through this death. This is the law of nature. No, I will go against it. I will conquer death. No, there is actually a different way of conquering death, not through material means. So, the Vedic scriptures also say, Asatoma sadgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. From deathlessness, go towards immortality. But that is not possible on the bodily platform. The moment I have accepted body, I have to give up this body. That's called death. No one is an exception. So then how to achieve deathlessness, real immortality? How to achieve? When you go back to the spiritual world, then you can achieve. This material world is called Martya Loka because everybody has to die here. Mrityu Loka. Everyone who takes birth has to die. That's the law of this world. But there is a different place where you can be eternal. Eternal knowledge, eternal life full of knowledge and bliss. We are actually citizens of that country, that world, the spiritual world. But we have come here and we are not happy. So Krishna is saying, come back. How long you are going to have been in a foreign country? Come back to your homeland. So our homeland is spiritual world. This is a foreign country we are living in. When you go to foreign country, it's not easy to get adjusted to that place. So the soul's nature is, I want to be deathless. But the material world, the law of this country is, everyone has to die. I'm not okay with that. That's why people don't want to think about death also. Even thinking about death is such a fearful situation, no? Why? Because it's not my nature to die. It's not the nature of the soul to die. It's not the nature of the soul to go through miseries, disease, old age, and why we don't want to become old? Because that is the nature of the soul. Soul never becomes old. Soul is always youthful. But here we are forced, the law of this country, this material world, is such that you are forced to become old against your will. And that is very uncomfortable. Correct? So therefore, you have to now develop this knowledge that real miseries of the material world are this birth, death, old age and disease. And I cannot counter these miseries by material plans and schemes. Within the jurisdiction of material plans and schemes, whatever I do, all these plans will fail. Because these are the limitations of material laws. But I can transcend the material laws. How to transcend? By actually developing Krishna consciousness. By developing our relationship with Krishna, I can transcend the birth, death, old age and disease.